This train is for Darlington. The next stop will be Thornaby. Board passengers here first. Okay. So turn on the headlights. Does that work? No. No. Oh, the headlights don't work. No. So we are in Middlesbrough. We are working at train to Delta 09, the 8:17 Saltburn to Blackburn train. We'll be taking it from Middlesbrough to Darlington, calling at Thornaby, Eaglescliffe, Allens West, and Dinsdale, then Darlington. So we are in a class 153 for a change. I know 153s operate nowhere near Middlesbrough, but I thought it was a nice change. So we have 153, Pacer, and the 153. I actually did see this formation in Victoria a few weeks ago. I think it was coming out empty from Newton Heath. The next stop is Thornaby at 9:48. I need to put the master key in first. There we go. That's better. So yeah, this is a very strange formation. So departing Middlesbrough, the speed limit is 25 miles per hour, going up to 60 and then 45. I've also got a cat on me. Very cute. Very soft. So if you can hear purring, you know why. Speed limit is now 45, so we can accelerate to that. So we are on the East Coast Main Line Northeast from DP Simulation. I'm not sure if it's the workshop version or the one on his website. I mean, the scenario is on the Google Drive page that I'll link in the description below, so you can try it out for yourself. What's on the right? Looks like some sort of industrial building. Why is it bright green? So like Middlesbrough, we depart at 8:43 and Thornaby arriving at 8:48. Speed limit is now going up to 55. And then going up to 60. I wonder if I should keep the wipers on. They're not really doing anything. So on the right is T's yard. I didn't really put anything in it. I think I might have put something in it. I left it empty. Oh. Yeah, I wasn't really sure what to put in it, so I just left it blank. So speed limit is going down to 50 and then 35 as we approach Thornaby. Or if you've played on the DP Simulation Creston route, the station looks very not familiar. The station looks very similar to Hatton Quay on the branch off Shencliffe, or Eagles Cliff. We have a warning for 35. I wonder if the instrument lines work. Oh, they do. So, coming up on the left is Thornaby Station. I'm going to stop right at the end. So this is Thornaby Station. DRI on. On. There we go. The next stop is Eagles Cliff at 9:53. Okay. There we go. So departing Thornaby, the speed limit is 35 miles per hour, and we've got about 3 miles to Eagles Cliff. And we also have a very nice passenger view. Yeah, good thing the train doesn't really have wheel slip. So yeah, if you've played the Creston route from DP Simulation, this should look very familiar. Like, you got this bridge that I think in the DP Simulation context thing they were replacing the bridge with a new one that could handle higher speeds. They were in the middle of building it. That's the type of story that he was going with. So approaching is a 156 to Middlesbrough from Newcastle. I think it was Newcastle via Sunderland and not through Durham. This route has a very nice frame rate compared to other routes. So the speed limit is now 50 and it's soon going up to 60. So I have had a look at the December 2019 timetable change. I think the changes mostly affect Thameslink, Northern and Transpennine. Northern's mainly just timetable changes like new routes being changed and existing ones being changed as well. Like the train from Leeds to Southborough Southport. Straight to Southport is now being cut back to Wigan Wargate. Don't know why. I hope somebody used it. Maybe to improve timekeeping or something. Because if a train from Leeds to Southport is like half an hour late, they would just terminate at Wigan Wargate. So coming up shortly is Eagles Cliff Station, with the line going straight on goes to Yarm and York, and the line going to the right goes to Darlington, Newcastle and Bishop Auckland. Also, Transpennine Express also has a lot of changes, or will have a lot of changes. Like most trains from Liverpool to Victoria will now be formed of 802s and 68s instead of the normal 185s. And also they're introducing a new route from Liverpool Lime Street to Glasgow Central. I'll call it Liverpool Lime Street, Wigan North Western, Preston, and then all the normal stops to Glasgow. I wonder why they couldn't have had it where a train starts in Glasgow as 8 coaches, or in this case like 10 coaches, runs normally to Wigan North Western, where the train divides, where one half goes to Manchester Airport, and the second half goes to Liverpool. The next stop is Allens West at 9:56. So it's passing Eagles Cliff. The starting speed limit is 60 and is soon going down to 30. There's also a pacer from Bishop Auckland. How many pacers actually do operate in the northeast? I guess from Northern's comments on the Facebook page, it's quite a lot. Because in the northwest, like Manchester and Leeds is in the east. Like Manchester, we've got 158s, 156s, 195s, 185s, lots of them. Lots of new trains. Well, not new trains, but better ones. And the northeast, from what I can gather, has 142s and 144s, mostly. I think that's Allens West coming up. Yeah, good thing I live in Manchester, so I don't have to play with Pacers that much. I mean, Pacers do turn up in Manchester, but it's mainly just a 150, a 156, and 158. The next stop is Dinsdale at 10:02. Anyway, speaking of the northeast, I also read that Transpennine trains from Liverpool Lime Street to Newcastle via Victoria and Leeds will now be extended to Edinburgh, calling at Morpeth for some reason. I don't know why Morpeth. And then it'll just go straight to Edinburgh. I mean, you can just check it out for yourself. If you go to real-time trains, set the date to December 16th, or a Monday, and search Liverpool to Newcastle. Most of the trains will be going to Edinburgh. So the speed limit is going down to 50, then back up to 60. I think it's because this corner and the level crossing, probably. So the next stop is Dinsdale, about 3.5 miles. So after Dinsdale, the next stop after that will be Darlington, where the service terminates. We'll also be passing through one of the UK's least used stations, Teesside Airport. Which, considering that it's a station for an airport, you think it would have more use, but it doesn't. I don't think Teesside Airport is actually anywhere near Teesside Airport. That's fine. I wonder what video I should do next. I mean, I have made a few scenarios for videos in the future. Don't know which one to record next week. Because of uni stuff, I can only record so much at a certain time of day. I think the last one I made, I was taking 325 on the Creston route. I also enjoy recording City Skylines videos. We don't play City Skylines that often, and we're kind of clueless about what to do next. You know, I like putting in the ChipX launch site. This is Teesside Airport. There's nothing really here. So soon the speed limit is going down to 30, then back up to 60. Yeah, there is a tight corner before Dinsdale. Do you know how people say that I hope it snows in winter? People who say I hope it snows don't use the train, because if they use the train, all the snow would just freeze all of the infrastructure, like the points and the signalling, and then all of the trains would be cancelled. So, I hope it doesn't snow, or it snows, but not too much. Some of the rain just floods, like it did last week, or was it the week before? I think about 2 weeks ago. So yeah, because the Cardiff Valley had a lot of rain over a few days, the line between Middlesbrough and Toberdon was flooded, so trains couldn't really run. So the only trains that could run were the trains from Rochdale to Blackburn via Salford. And because of all the floods, they were about 20 minutes late. So instead of having 6 trains an hour between Rochdale and Victoria, there was 2, and between Rochdale and Middlesbrough, instead of having 4 trains, there was 0. I don't remember seeing any rail replacement coaches outside Rochdale, so I don't know what people did. Why am I braking so slowly? You know, when I got into Victoria, it was very quiet. I kind of expected there to be lots of backed up trains there, but I guess I think they were elsewhere, like in Newton Heath. So we're now approaching Dinsdale Station. Stop, damn it! I might have overshot the platform roll. The next stop is Darlington, arriving at 10:11. So departing Dinsdale, the speed limit is 60, and the next stop is Darlington, arriving at about 3.5 miles. So we should be there fairly soon. And also on Thursday the 14th of November, I was preparing for an interview for a placement that I got. I think the interviewer was probably impressed by my first year results. I mean, I got 81% average. So the night before I was preparing for the interview, like printing off my CV and getting some of my coursework ready from first year and second year up to this point, and I think I left uni at about 5 p.m. and didn't get home till about 7:30. I mean, it's kind of normal for me to take 2 hours to get home, but on my way home I normally time it so it takes me an hour and a half. But instead, what decided to happen was a train broke down in Smealy Bridge, which is the first stop east of Rochdale. So all the trains behind it just were backed up. Well, they were either stuck behind the train in the next signal block, or they were just sat in Rochdale or Victoria. I don't know what train it was. It was going from Victoria to Leeds, so it was probably 195. They've been breaking down a lot, even though they're brand new. WCAF. So we got to Victoria. There was already like a 153 and a 150 going to Leeds that was sat there for, from where it was in the platform, I'd say it was a very long time. Like if you get a 153 and a 150, it was probably going to Rochdale, but this one was going to Leeds. Oddly enough. So that one left, and the train from Southport to Blackburn, that was already about 25 minutes late, turned up in platform 6. I think that one was the 1704 to Blackburn. And by this point, it was already about 5:30. No, about 5:15. Whatever time it was. It was formed of a pair of 158s, where the front 158 was in the ex-Northern Rail livery, and then the rear half was in the new Northern livery. So a lot of the train, it was very packed. Like, I think all 4 coaches of the train were packed, and they were both 158, so you can imagine how many people were on that train. So because it's so packed, I just like stood off for about half an hour, like about 20 minutes in Victoria, starting waiting for a path, and then about the extra 15 minutes for the journey between Victoria and Rochdale. So we're cleared into platform 3 at Darlington. So after the train going to Rochdale, it was already about 40 minutes late. And because my bus from Rochdale leaves at a time, I missed it, and then I had to wait an hour after that. So it took me a very long time to go home on Thursday. So here is where we joined the East Coast Main Line. And you can see Darlington Station up ahead. So 40:25:15. I wonder if I should do a scenario on the Chiltern Main Line. Like I made a scenario on a few weeks ago where I was taking a train, a Class 170, from Dulwich to Birmingham in the snow. So you can imagine how much wheel slip I had. I don't know if it will make for a very interesting video going at like 30 miles an hour. This is Darlington Station where this service terminates. So the actual train got into Darlington at 9:14, timetable in at 9:11. Why is this an hour behind? No. I think I might have copied and pasted the wrong train timetable. Oops. I just imagine all the times about an hour earlier. So this is actually to Delta 13. So, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.